Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to show you how a player turned a bit more than 100 euros into over 35,000 euros, beating a field of more than 3,600 entries in the Winamax Space KO main event. But most importantly, we are going to break down some key hands that could truly make a difference in your own tournaments. My name is Luna, I'm passionate about poker tournaments, and I help ambitious players level up and better understand the dynamics of high-stakes final tables. Stick around till the end. I will show you the exact hand that turned this final table around and how you can make the same high-level decision in your own sessions. Let's dive in. Okay, first hand of this final table here is with pocket fives, and he decided to fall here with the chip leader directly to his left. It's not an open all the time on the cutoff position. I really like this fold. I think it's really a good discipline to fold here. Open all the time, defense, and here he decided to c-bet with 1/3 pot. I like the decision. I think you can choose the size that you want here on this configuration exactly. When you are the chip leader at the table, you have more freedom about your sizings, about your actions. So I really like this play. I will continue here. Pocket twos also is going to open again. And you will see Posterity is one of the greatest players. And you will see, I will show you exactly the players that are on this final table. We go quickly over them. Here, for example, we have Romeo first. Not a lot of games on him, on his pseudo, on his new account. He plays really expensive, 250 euros in average buy-in, so it's quite expensive. Finishes often in the end of the tournament. I think he's going to be a good player, a really good player. And we will have to follow him. Nabaresh, Nab, or we'll call him Nab, another great player. Also finishes quite often in the end of the tournament. Average buy-in 27, so maybe a bit less good than Romeo. Another guy, Swing It Back. Average buy-in 44, also finishes the tournament late. 11k tournaments winnings. Still another guy that is really competent. You will see there will be a lot of guys that are really good at this game here on this final table. Here another guy with 100k plus winnings on poker, and also he's really really good. He has an average buy-in of 60, finishes often really late in the tournament, in the top 3% of the tournament, 4% of the time, so really good. Maracuja, another guy, we call him maybe Mara. It's easier. Another guy also really going deep in the tournaments. A lot of field beaten in this tournament. A lot of profits also. One of the best here in this final table, 400k euros winnings. Really a guy that won a huge amount on a tournament. He won almost 370k on one tournament. Really a great player, someone that will definitely we have to follow and to check his talents, because he must be one of the most talented people at this final table. And the last player, we don't have a lot of information, just he plays quite expensive. Okay, we'll say still continue to analyze here. I love the call with pocket 7. I think it's the best option here. You don't want to raise, you're not in value, you're not in bluff, you prefer to call flat here. I really like. And no one decided to transform their hand into a bluff here. I will just do a quick analysis of the value of the bounties here, and we can see that the biggest bounty is on the Posterity's head. He has like 4,800 bounty, and the value in big blind, I will not go into details in this video, but just you can see my calculations here, and I've arrived at a value of 17 big blinds. And I often say you cannot play this kind of tournament with in general, bounty tournaments without knowing the value, without doing the calculation of the value of the bounties. Is going to change too much the strategy, and you have to really to be able to adapt to this situation. Here with ace queen off, I love the 3-bets. I could have flat. You could have flat also with a big bounty on his head. I don't think he wants to value this thin here against Romeo, but Romeo has a very good spot of open, so he can open quite with medium weak hands, so it's okay for him to take the 3-bet spot a bit, I think a bit lower than that he would have taken normally. Also, he decided to do more than normally, do like 1 big blind or 2 big blinds more than his usual 3-bet size, because he has a big bounty, so he doesn't want to make it too obvious for the opponent to call. Here another spot, we see a big 3-bet here from Swigit back, a big sizing. I really like the sizing in general. He's playing against another player that is really deep also in this final table. You don't want to 3-bet too much out of position, so the sizing also is going to be impacted. Here we have a 3-bet. I really like this 3-bet. Normally, good players here, they take almost all of their bluffs on this position, all the a6s off. And here Caldwell decided to 4-bet jam. It's a really good spot to 4-bet jam. All those hands, the suited connects, suited broadways normally are going to jam here. So King Queen suited, King Jack suited, King 10 suited, and those Queen 10 are suited also. If you really know that your opponent is going to 3-bet a lot, then you can 4-bet jam easily those type of hands. Here we have an open, normal. Here we have open with aces. 3-bet of King 9 suited, I really like it. And I think we have 2 decisions here with posterity. We can call, but we can go also all in. I don't really like to 3-bet size for the fact that in general, you're not supposed to 3-bet size too much when your bounty is worth that much. So I decided to call. Here on the flop, he just called once. Check in the turn and river. It decided to go all in. I really like the fact that he didn't choose a small sizing here on the river, because he cannot normally value too thin with his enormous bounty. So I really like his strategy for now. And you're going to see he's really a really great player. Here he decided to check raise. I really like the choice of the combo. It's a backdoor flush and backdoor straight hand. So in general, it's one of the best combo that you can use. And he decided on the turn also to continue on this 8. I really like the spot. I think it's a really great card to continue. He will continue maybe on spades and on a 3 or 4. That will help his draw. And here we have a good sizing also. I like to go for quite a big sizing here, 2/3 spot. And swing has a good also fall. I think it's the best option here to fall. With his ace of hearts, he's blocking a bit of the check raises of his opponent. So he's blocking the bluff. And he also he's not in front of the value of his opponent normally. So it's not a good combo to call here. I really like his fold. Here we have an open posterity that decided to call out of position with this hand. This is a type of play that I don't do personally right now, but if he plays them, if you really see some good opponents do some really great plays in general, they have studied them, and you can also use them to analyze your own games and to progress in your own play. So that's why also I really like to do those types of analysis. And you can really see that posterity here is really making thousands of euros easily in these games. He's really a great player. Yeah, we have open. It's okay, I think, to fall with Nab. Nab that just has to wait for now. He doesn't have a good spot to go all in. He decided to c-bet. I really like his sizing, like 40% pot. In the turn, he decided to check. I think it's a really great card to check. You don't need to value that thin, and he doesn't have any problems with the redraws. So I really like his check. And we can see that he went all in the river, and you can see that Yomi called this one. It's really a difficult spot for Yomi because he has like a blocker to the nuts of his opponent. And the fact that posterity also raised in the big blind means in general he has less suited hands. So I think his call is quite good here in Yomi's shoes. It's really not easy to fold here with the posterity that seems to be a great player, and you will find bluffs, I think, in these spots. Here we have a 3-bet, a 4-bet of Romeo in position, out of position, sorry, and a 5-bet jam for posterity. That really makes, puts a lot of pressure on his opponent. I really like his play style. He decided to jam 72 big blinds effective. And first, when I saw this hand, I thought it was too much to jam here. But what I really like with his style here is always he has like 30% equity against the calling range of the opponents. Swing has a really difficult spot, I think, to call here with four players shorter than him. So I think if he has to jam those guys on hands, all the A6s could be good here to jam. And unfortunately, he didn't win on this one, but I think it was a correct move when I saw it afterwards. Yeah, we have like swing also deciding to take all of the A6s to 3-bet bluff. and he's really putting a ton of pressure on the other people here. Yeah, we have Nab that has his bounty is worth maybe he's worth like 8 or 7 big blinds compared to the posterity here that has maybe 10 or 11 worth big blinds of his bounty. So I really like his all in, and I think it's a call here for swing it back. He has to call almost all of his opening range because he's priced in. He has the equity to call here against the opponents. Really like here. You can see posterity really trying to put a lot of pressure on everyone. It's really, he's doing his job of a chip leader, but you could have guessed that he was really great. He had a lot of winnings. He's capable. He has shown that he's capable of finishing in the best positions of the tournament, and he has really a great play style. Here, I could have gone for a 3-bet, but I like also to call in his position. Both are fine, I think. And decided to check here in the river. I see a lot of opponents here 3-bet too much against the chip leader out of position. It's really going to be tough spots here out of position against the chip leader. So it can cost you hundreds of thousands of euros. If you want help on those spots, you can go in the link on my description. I will see if I can help you improve your game. Here we can go forward and see other hands. Check here. Decided to bet at the turn with his flush and river. It's almost impossible to fold in swings shoes because too many hands that I think we can beat here. So I really like his call, and you will see a lot of good plays here in the final table. I decided to call with his flush draw. I think it's the best option. You could also check raise, but the thing is, you have 2 overs. You don't really need to go bluff this hand straight away. At the turn, he decided to check again, and posterity decided to transform his hand into a bluff, and that's really what difference between the greatest players and the good players is that they can transform here some hands that seem really relatively good, but he has no showdown and he's almost at the bottom of his range. I don't think he will call less hands that are weaker than king high, maybe like a 6-7 with gut shot or straight draws on both ends. But I think he is not going to call that much hands that are weaker. So I really like this decision to transform his hand. And Roneo just decided to call here. I think it's better just to let the opponent bet here in this line. And posterity really understood that he was beaten. And the range of the opponent Roneo was really strong when he called here at the turn. Okay, we have a check. Decided to transform on the turn, and Roneo couldn't do anything. Here, this is a play. Posterity decided to flat here with his a6 off. It's a play that I see more and more at the top level, and I think it's really great. It shows that it shows that really you can flat in position, being the chip leader, and really put pressure on the opponents. So it's going to make a huge difference, and he knows really how to apply pressure, how to really put his opponents into tough spots. Here also he's making Roneo try to make him do some mistakes. Yeah, we have a standard play. We have a call here. He decided he flopped quads. Easy game for him, but it doesn't matter in poker the strength of your hand. The most important is the strength of your hand relatively to the opponent's strength of his hand. So if you have a really good hand but the opponent has like nothing, it's going to be impossible to extract value or extract some money out of him. But if he have a really good hand, he has a slightly worse hand, then you can take a lot of money. He decided to bet, and he decided to give up here on the river posterity. You can see really he's really precise with the spots that he wants to 3-bet, that the spots that he wants to flat, to put pressure. Everything is really, in general, really precise with all of his poker. And that's what makes the difference between him and the people that are a bit less good, I think. Here he decided to jam. I think it's a really good spot. Roneo is going to take this spot a bit light sometimes. And posterity definitely can go all in with this hand. I decided, and fortunately, here now it's Roneo's turn to do a quad here, but it doesn't make any difference. His kings were already enough. Yeah, we have a call, we have a c-bet, he decided to fold directly, okay. Posterity also decided to call here in position, decided to fold on the river. Here, everything is standard. All of the players are really good in their games. If you have any questions about any hands, don't hesitate to use the comments. I will go deeper on the analysis of one of the hands. But most of the plays here are standard. Both players are really playing really good poker. And they are really applying pressure on each one. Here we have a good jam. Yeah, you could have three-betted or three-bet also, Mara. But I really like also the flat because having an opponent having shorter opponents with 10 big blinds and 15 big blinds, you have a lot of ICM pressure, and the consequence of losing here or losing your flip or losing here would be disastrous. So I really like his decision. He decided to call twice, and on the river he decided to fold here with the flush in because he's going to have a lot of flushes in his range. So if the opponent decides to transform on this flush, in general, it's really strong. Here it's standard. Both hands are really good, well played by both players. Here we have another jam that makes me think of the other hand that we saw of Posterity jamming Ace X off here at the start of the game. And here he decided also to go for the spot. And unfortunately, or fortunately, this time he won. I think really it's a great decision. And you could have seen Mara decided to fall with Ace King here. I will just put it again to see in details. Decided to fall here with Ace King off. Really a really tough position. I don't know this spot. I've worked on some spots that are a bit similar, but those spots are so precise. You need to be so precise with the information that you have, with the ICM that you think, with the range of Roneo and the other opponents. So it's really not easy to play those spots. I think it's a fold most of the time, what I saw on my other work on those spots, but it's really going to be a difficult decision, I think. Here we have another elimination. Limp, raise, call, this is standard. Cannot do anything else. Jammed here, Posterity really opened wide. I don't know why he did that. I was a bit shocked at first, but maybe it's okay. Maybe he has he's not going to lose a ton, I think, this spot, considering that he's opening. He's not opening on the players that have the biggest stack. Here we have a good jam, I think, from Mara. You cannot really 3-bet against the opponent with the chip leader. And he's going to have a range really wide, so you don't need to put maximum pressure on him. So I really like the jam, and here Caldwell decided to go all in, and I really like. I think it's the best option. Unfortunately for him, 2 queens on the flop, and he's going to go, going to say goodnight to him. But he really played well. I think it's the best option that he decided to take. You cannot really do anything else with this hand, with this spot. So yeah, poker is all about if you can make the difference in plays. If you can play the same hand better than your opponent, then in the long run you will win more money than him. But sometimes you cannot do anything. It's just completely set up and you cannot do anything. Here we have a 4-bet of aces. I really like this spot. And Roneo decided to 5-bet all in. Like at the start of the tournament, you could see at the turn, there was really a sweat. It was 5% now for swing, but he decided, he got the 10 on the river and he won this one. It was really a huge clutch moment of the tournament. It could have made a big difference. Maybe it's the difference between winning like 10K and winning 15K or 20K. So it's a big difference. It's going to make like probably a 5K difference. It's quite impressive. Okay, we have a 1/3 pot. Here we can have we see Prosperity that decided to float in position. But that's also why you should not 3-bet too much against good players, because even they're going to transform those types of hands at the turn. I don't know what's the good option in swings shoes. I really don't know. It's going to be dependent on what you have, like information you have on your opponent. Decided to flat here also, another really interesting spot. I don't know if it's better to 3-bet or flat. All of them were playing with great knowledge and showing a lot of skills, so it's really interesting. Here I decided to fall in the river because I think he's never going to have the best hand. Here the jack is really a good hand to continue barreling, continue applying pressure in swing shoes, because on 9 is giving him a straight. So I really like his decision here. You can see like all the 4 opponents here have the same stack depth. So it's going to make the first one that is going to apply the most pressure is going to show the dominance on the table, is going to take a huge lead. But here for now they still have like the same stack sizes. So the 4-bet, yeah, you can see the 3-bet here with his blocker. Kings and aces are good blockers here to take this spot lightly. And it really goes with it, posterity, and Mara, who really saw the great spot here to 4-bet all in. This is the difference in general also with the best players and the players. Sometimes my students, when they arrive, they are not aggressive enough, and in poker, aggressivity makes a big difference, because you're going to make like way more money. You will put also opponents in tougher spots. Here you can see, but I think it's standard. Mara could have gone all in also part of the time. Maybe it's a bit too thin to go all in here. So it's okay, I think, in general to go with a call here. I don't think it's a bit too tight from him. I would have called here, I think, with redraw, with 1 over and redraw on the nuts. I think I would have called at the turn. Maybe Mara is a bit the neat player, but definitely the other players are really good. I really like his decision and his sizing here on the turn. He decided to bet also at the river. Really putting his opponents in a tough spot here, posterity. Really choosing in general really good sizings. He's really great at this game. Here he decided to call only with his trips on the flop. Also a great decision, because I think his bluffing range is not really important on this flop. It's so disconnected that you don't have like natural bluffs here. So I really like his decision to call. And on the river, he decided to check again. Maybe he could have gone for a lead here, or he could have bet like 80% of the pot. But you can choose also his option. I think is great if you want to build a bigger pot. He decided to call. He decided to go 50%. Really like. Everyone is putting a lot of pressure here. We can see a 3-bet also with the A6 suited. It happens also. You can choose what you want with those types of hands, and you can see swing it back is not as calling station as posterity on those types of board. Posterity is really, I think, the one that is leading here, and we'll see if he makes the difference in the end. Here, standard from both players, and he touches 2 aces to double up. 3-bet here, it's a good play. Don't want to go all in straight away. Here he decided to call. Decided to bet. Here he decided to check posterity. I really like his option. You don't have like 3 streets of value, and it's a king high boards. Normally, when you have raised pre-flop in blind versus blind, you're supposed to check a bit more. So I really like also his option. And here he went for a big sizing on the river. 3-bet here, really good. Everyone is applying a maximum amount of pressure here. With ace-3 off, I think I would have raised more than call here. And yeah, posterity is really applying a ton of pressure here with his often those runouts. The runouts when there's over like a king, those are almost the best runouts to bluff. Are really, really great runouts. Check here. I would have called here in swing shoes, but I can understand it's going to be difficult to defend in those spots. Okay. Check raise also with his gut shot. He really likes to check raise with his gut shots. He's really so good at this game. He's really showing us a lot of what we need to learn. 9-10 off. I don't know if it's a call here out of position in the small blind. But if you're a chip leader and putting a lot of pressure on everyone, I think we can really put your range. You can really get wider. So I really like also his play. Half pot is here, and Mara that decided to go all in. I think it's the best play here. And swing has a really tough decision here. I don't know if it's the best to go all in how to fold here. Both are really difficult. With his trips, he's almost never beaten here. And the thing is that posterity also is uncapped in his range. So if swing it back calls here, he has the worst trips. I think it's an option really to fold. It's not going to be easy here. And if he's wrong, he's almost out of the tournament. You can see all the sizings of posterity are really well thought of. You really need to be on your toes if you play against him, because he's going to put a lot of pressure to be really aggressive and put you in tough spots. I think here I wouldn't have jammed. I think it's a bit too much. I would have maybe done, the maximum would have been like 18 blinds, big blinds. I decided to jam, to go all in, and ace fell on the flop. So he doubles up. Now he can put pressure on the opponents. Check, check, and then he decided to bet. I think Mara now has, at this point, has really a tight image. So none of the three other best players are calling him light at the river. That's one of the exploits that you can use against players that are too tight. Yeah, he has a good spot. Really takes all the spots. Posterity has his game is so precise. You really can see all the skills, all the knowledge that he shows in his poker. Really beautiful. Here he decided to go all in swing because he's last in the tournament. I really like his spot also. The difference at this level is going to be really thin. So you need to make really sure that your game is on point and you're ready to fight. And if you have any questions about any spots, about how they play, if you don't agree with one of my analyses, don't hesitate. You can put a comment down below, and I will answer your questions, or we can discuss some spots. And also, if you want me to help you personally with your own game, you can fill the Google form that is in the description, and I will have more information to see how I can help you. Here he decided to, I think it's the best option here to call with his 1-over and straight draw from both ends, open-ended straight draw. On the river, he decided to transform his hand. I think it's also quite standard here. Yeah, I really don't like the jam of posterity. I think I would have gone for fold here. I think you need to go all in linear here. So maybe ace-10 off would be the bottom, or ace-jack off. It seems too wide, too low for me to go in with this hand. And unfortunately, there was a jack on the flop, so I lost. Now we only have like 3 players left. The end, you will see, will go a bit faster. There will be a huge... This is also a huge amount, on one hand. 15,000 for a tournament that is 100 euros, 125, so it's really a huge amount. All the players here are putting a lot of pressure on each other. Yeah, I decided to raise with top 2, top 2, yeah. Check raise, and decided to go all in at the turn. Mara really seems to be the player that is the tightest compared to the others, and Roneo and Swing seem to really be good at the game and really able to navigate against this player. Jack-Eye here, Swing, he has like 5 big blinds left. He really needs to wait, and now he has a spot. He has a good enough hands, 4 big blinds deep, and he's going all in. And unfortunately, he lost in third position, and he won 14,000 plus his bounty of like 2 or 3K at least. So well done to him. And now you will see there's a lot of hands here on this final table in the heads up. I will just go to the end, because in general the players in the heads up, they really deviate from the theory. So it's not the same as understanding the rest of the game, because there's a lot more deviation that people will do to exploit their opponents. Here, Mara should never fold here. I think on open 2x, you're never supposed to fold. And here we can also see this type of ISO doesn't really exist. I think in normally in heads up, you're not supposed to ISO with those hands that are really weak out of position. I think Roneo is just messing with Mara at this point. He really is fortunate to have come up against the weakest maybe player of the final table, or one of the two weakest players in the final table in the heads-up. So now he's really trying to grind him down. He's really winning most of the pots. Here you can see some hands that Mara is folding that should never be folded. And here I think it's standard here to go all in with ace-5 off. You could have gone check back also, but nothing else, I think. And Roneo decided to call here in position. And there was a king straight away on the flop. And this is the final moments of this tournament. He wins an extra 1k. And we will see now the end of this tournament. The final bounty won by Roneo, and now he wins 5k to add to his bankroll. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, share this video, comment if you have any questions, and like also. If you want to see another video, I published my first video in English on this channel. I also have a French channel if you want to check it out. So if you want to see other videos in French but more videos are coming on this English channel, don't worry. And if you want me to help you directly in your own game, if you want to work with me, you can go and in the description and you can find the link, and you can just press it down, fill up the form, and I will help you. And we'll have a call and I will help you. We will see if I can help you in your game to make better decisions. Otherwise, let's see you in another video. Bye, goodbye.